This is the Leitmotif and Movement Podcast, a father and son's journey into the vast worlds of music. I am your host, Mike Ficklin, and joining me on this epic musical journey is my son,
Michael Ficklin.
This show is dedicated to the discussion of music and introducing Michael to music from the past and present. We mainly discuss the genres of rock, hard rock, and heavy metal. We also, from time to time, dive into film and video game scores, and we sprinkle in some surprises along the way. And for today's bonus episode, we're kind of giving you a twofer. We're going to kick things off by breaking down the brand new record from Bragging Rights titled A Comedy Divine. It drops on April 3rd, and you will be able to purchase that from the band's Bandcamp page at braggingrights2022.bandcamp.com. The band is a sludge-infused progressive death metal project, and this is actually the third album that we have covered from Bragging Rights, Michael.
Wowzers.
Yeah. This is actually a one-man project, the brainchild of Kevin Davies, and Kevin's artistic output is crazy, man. 3 albums in the last year. Crazy.
Always in the studio.
Yeah. So, a little bit of background on this record. This album is a deeply personal exploration of Kevin's grief in the wake of the sudden loss of a family dog and best friend. And as we all know, our pets become like our family.
Mm-hmm.
So, with that said, we'll dig right into the track-by-track analysis. Kick things off with track number 1. This is Peridictum. This takes some excerpts from the 1982 Ridley Scott film Blade Runner. Before we get into that, though, Michael, let's get your thoughts.
I really... It's a nice intro track. It's got like a commentary in the background, kind of. And then a nice riff. I kind of like that riff.
Like that guitar riff?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really heavy and declamatory. Kind of builds up the tension on it.
Yeah, it builds up so nicely.
It's a brief intro track. The commentary you're talking about playing, that's what I was talking about. It's an excerpt from the 1982 Ridley Scott film Blade Runner. Specifically, it's lines from Rutger Hauer's character Roy Batty during the final act of the film. This includes pieces from his iconic Tears and Rain monologue. And Michael, I'm going to attempt to play this where you can hear it. I don't know if you're going to be able to or not. If we can't, I'll just edit this section out. Mm-hmm. But I am going to attempt to play this so you can hear it. So, having watched that, did it give you some needed context to what was going on in the intro track?
I didn't fully understand what was going on.
You have to see the full movie. But that's where the dialogue in this intro track comes from. Michael, do you have anything else on Peridictum?
I do not.
Okay. So we'll move on to track number 2. This is Castaway. Michael, what you got on this?
I love that nice riff. And Kevin's vocals are kind of out in the distance. You hear the riff and drum work more throughout this whole entire song, but that riff is amazing.
Like that riff, huh?
Yeah.
And this song has a solemn, dark feeling to it. Kevin screams out the anguished lyrics over a guitar riff that I can only describe as what sounds like tears or rain falling. The riff is sludgy and dissonant. With about 36 seconds left, the song switches from the sludgier sounds into a much heavier death metal section. We get some machine gun kick drums in this section. It's an intense way to close the song. Michael, what else you got on Castaway?
I gotta agree, it is an intense way to close out the song.
Yeah, it is. It goes hard.
And it comes out of nowhere, too.
It really does. Just flips the switch.
Hey, we need some death in here.
Yes, we do. Bring it. Okay. We'll move on to track number 3. This is Brave One. Michael, what you got on this?
Another blowing out the eardrums, face melted opening. But we can hear the vocals a bit more with this song. Or screaming vocals.
Yeah, they're mixed out a little more out in front on this.
Yes. It kind of seems like the guitar has taken the back seat on this song.
A little bit. I just feel like the vocals are more mixed more in the front so that they're a little more present.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the opening of this song sounds like a guitar riff being played in reverse before we break into the song proper. This riff is sludgy and doom-laden. It almost reminds me of something that Mastodon might do. Around the 1 minute 5 second mark, the song shifts for around 20 seconds or so into something a bit more melodic and intense. It then shifts back to the main riff. Davy's blood-curdling anguish screams pour out over the sludgy riffs. I appreciate the sudden changes and shifts in the song. They add an element of complexity and keep you on your toes as a listener.
Agreed.
Michael, do you have anything else on Brave One?
I do not.
Okay. So we'll move on to track number 4. This is Everything for Me. Michael, what you got on this?
Another right into it riff. There's no second of rest. It's kind of a... I don't know how to describe the opening riff.
I think it's kind of hypnotic and sludgy as it opens up.
I could agree. But I really like that. I like that change up.
Yeah, it's interesting. Switches things up a little bit.
And we're back into the screaming vocals.
I was going to say, if you're looking for clean melodic vocals, you're not going to find that.
Yep.
This is all straight up death metal screaming. After that hypnotic, sludgy opening to the song, things open up a bit when we get into the chorus. In this section, we switch from this intense, dark wall of sound to something less dense. The drums go to the double kick, but the guitar work is more economical and melodic. This chorus section is some of my favorite musical moments on the record. It's fitting, given the emotional and sad circumstances surrounding the creation of this record.
Yeah.
Michael, anything else on Everything for Me?
Nope.
Okay. So we'll move on to track number 5. This is See You In. Michael, what you got on this?
This opening kind of reminds me of a song from the new Deftones record or from the Love record that we've covered.
Oh, yeah?
That riff just reminds me of something from those two.
Any particular songs?
I don't think I can name a song right off the top of my head because I haven't listened to those albums in probably a couple of months. So, I mean, I did re-listen to the Love record here recently.
Yeah. But, I mean, just in general, the sound of those records, this song reminds you of the sound on those records? Okay. Fair enough.
Do you agree?
Actually, for me, I think this song kind of opens up with a really melodic and bluesy guitar riff. evokes feelings of the riff to Temple of the Dog's Say Hello to Heaven to me. There's no big, clean vocal performance a la Chris Cornell for this, though. Davies instead opts for a pained and sorrowful screaming approach. Around the halfway point, there's a musical shift that introduces a heavier sounding guitar riff that is joined at intervals by the double kick drums. The song closes out on a solemn note as we get an emotional and perhaps reflective moment. Michael, have you ever heard Say Hello to Heaven by Temple of the Dog?
I'm going to play it in my ear real fast and see if I recognize it.
If you've never heard it before, you're in for a treat.
Temple of the Dog is on the way for to listen to.
It is.
I have not.
You're in for a treat, my friend. When we get to that record, I think you're going to enjoy it. Michael, do you have anything else on CUN?
I do not.
Okay. So we'll move on to track number 6. This is In the Mirror Dwell. Michael, what you got on this?
We got a break for a second. And then we get into nice, like, electric guitar riff. I really like that riff. And then Kevin's vocals are more in the back now.
Yeah, they're mixed a bit lower.
Yeah, like it was in the second song. I enjoy them keeping us on our toes a lot.
Yeah, the shifts sonically. Really enjoy that. This one has a melancholy feel to it. There's a sort of longing in the music, a deep hurt that doesn't heal. The main guitar riff sounds like a really killer arpeggio. The bass line underneath it, I think, is what drives that cinematic sense of sadness. Around the 1 minute 52 second mark, the tempo picks up and the music shifts to more of a very heavy death metal sound, complete with blast beat drums. This resolves within about 45 seconds left as we return to the melancholy riff. With about 23 seconds left, the song begins its close. The music starts to slowly fade out into the distance, almost like a loss of consciousness. When I listened to the lyrics, and Kevin actually provided me the lyrics to the song, and the title of the song makes me think of the scene in Harry Potter. I think it's in the first Harry Potter film where he finds the mirror in the room of requirement that shows him what's in his heart, and he's staring in the mirror at his parents and stuff all the time. Do you remember what I'm talking about?
Was that in the first movie?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it is.
I feel like I remember it in the later movie.
No,
one of the later
it was
ones.
in the first one. Because if you recall, that's where Dumbledore hides the MacGuffin. The plot MacGuffin is in the mirror.
Oh.
But
to be fair,
anyway,
I haven't
that's kind of the vibe I got with that. What's that?
To be fair, I haven't seen that movie in like 2 years.
I mean, yeah.
Maybe
I'm not
even
going to talk
longer,
about
actually.
the social discourse around the author of the series and stuff like that. I just wanted to mention that that's what the song is, what that reminded me of.
I think it's been like 4 or 5 years since I've seen the first movie.
Probably been a while, yeah. Michael, anything else on In the Mirror Dwell?
Nope.
Okay. So we'll move on to track number 7. This is I Must Scream. Michael, what you got on this?
I really like that guitar riff.
Yeah, dude.
Can you agree?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. It opens up with that really sludgy, down-tuned guitar riff. It's like a relentless and slow death march. I think it reminds me of Jerry Cantrell's guitar riff in Alice in Chains' Man in the Box.
Would I know that song?
No, that was not from Dirt. That was from their first record, Facelift. Now, you might actually know that song through cultural osmosis, though. I would wager to bet you've heard it before.
Alright, we're testing that theory now. I don't recognize it.
Wow. Wow, that was the band's first big hit. And it's all over radio. I'm surprised you have not heard this before.
I've heard Wood and Rooster.
Well, I know.
On the
Those
radio.
are from Dirt.
Yeah.
But that song, Man in the Box, was one of their biggest hits. But do you see what I'm talking about? Or can you hear what I'm talking about as far as the riff being reminiscent?
Yes.
Yeah.
But I really like Kevin's vocals. I think he does well.
Yes, he does. Davies does add some little flourishes that keeps the song from being a little too overly repetitive. And as you might be able to infer from the song title, Davies unleashes some blood-curdling screams all throughout the song. Around the 2-minute mark, we get into a section that feels like it was meant to get folks in the pit and heads banging. I will say that I'm not a huge fan of this song. It's okay. It's just a bit too slow and a little monotonous. I don't know. It's not my favorite song on the record.
Fair. I could agree.
Michael, you got anything else on I Must Scream?
Nope.
Okay. So we'll move on to track number 8. This is An End to Mercy. What you got on this?
I really like that opening. We got that nice sludgy, like, I don't know how to describe it. It's just nice. I really like the drum work. I haven't said enough about the drum work, but I really like it on this song a lot.
Like the tempo on the drums?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, of course, we got the amazing vocalist providing us with the screams of death.
Yeah, this song opens up with another sludgy, dark, doom-laden riff. On the second way through the riff, the drums pick up a bit in tempo. Then we break into a new section as Davies' anguished screams come in. This section lasts the first verse before we return to the opening guitar riff. There's a very bleak and unsettling tone overall to the song, which is befitting of its title. Michael, anything else on An End to Mercy?
I do not.
Okay. So we'll move on to track number 9. This is Wish You Well. What you got on this?
This is a nice hooky riff.
Yeah,
Gets you into it immediately.
It really is. This, from me, is the start of a killer run through the end of the record.
But amazing opening, lead-in, amazing. And it seems like the drums have kind of taken the back burner on this song.
Maybe a little bit. There is a driving rhythm on the song that hooked me right away. Davies' screams take on a more heart-wrenching undertone. There's something deeply emotional about his delivery. During the chorus, we get a more open feel musically. Davies is economical with his notes, allowing the final note in the chorus riff to ring out. It's almost like taking a few moments to reflect before getting back to real life. In my opinion, this is one of the best tracks on the record, bar none. Michael, anything else on Wish You Well?
I enjoy this song a lot, too.
It's really good. All right, Michael, moving on to track number 10. This is Burden. What you got on this?
Crazy switch up. All out on your ears. All out
Right?
on the face.
Right?
No more eardrums may remain.
Comes in all guns blazing.
uh, there shall not be a face remaining. Only skeletons.
Burning you down.
I really that riff, just everything just adds on to that, just the attacking feeling. It's right at you.
Goes hard.
Yes.
Yeah, it's up tempo, hard as hell. Around the 1 minute 20-second mark, the song takes an interesting turn. Things slow down a bit for a moment before getting into a section that sort of reminds me a bit of Tool. This section gives way to machine gun drums and a much darker, heavy guitar riff as the song comes to a close. This is another killer track on the record.
Yeah,
Another one of
I
my
couldn't.
favorites.
I do agree. It kind of does also remind me of Tool.
Yeah, just the one particular section, but yes.
Yeah.
Michael, anything else on Burden?
I do not.
All right. Well, that'll take us to the final track on the record then. This is track 11, Cloud Catcher. Michael, what you got on this?
Welcome to the ballad.
Yep, if there was such a thing as a ballad on this record, I think this definitely qualifies.
Yeah, the riff alone just can qualify it.
Totally.
It's so emotional. You can feel like everything coming out through that guitar. And Kevin is screaming out the vocals. And you can kind of tell there's a change in how he's presenting the screaming vocals.
Put a little more emotion into it, right? Yeah. The main guitar riff on this is very emotional, just dripping with emotion. Davey screams the lyrics out with a lot of heart and passion. The song does take a darker, sludgier turn around the 1 minute 30-second mark. When the song turns back to the ballad guitar riff, that's the goods. There's a lot of melody. The song closes back out on the sludgier, chugging guitar riff with some additional notes being played over the top to give it a bit of an emotional anchor. The notes are bent and sustained, methodical. It's a solid album closer. Michael, anything else on Cloudcatcher?
It ended too soon. The streak ended too soon.
Excellent streak of songs there.
Yeah.
All right, Michael, that's going to take us to our final thoughts and our overall album ratings. Let's get your final thoughts and your rating out of 5.
I enjoyed it. Now, death metal is not my favorite genre. But it was...
That's fair.
This was really good. Now, I will say, I recommend other people take a check at this, even though I'm giving it the rating I'm giving it. I'm giving a 4.5.
I think that's a really good score. I don't think you're steering people away. It's fair to have your own taste and stuff, and I understand that you're not necessarily the biggest death metal guy and stuff. I know you like more melody in your music and stuff like that. I think your score is fair, and I think your thoughts are fair. For me, as I pointed out earlier, this album was written in grief over the loss of a beloved pet. Pets really do become like family. It's so hard to say goodbye to them. They say that through grief and pain, artists can create their best works. The journey of this album is a sad one, but is also a great tribute to the lost loved one. There are times when I feel like the guitar riffs get a bit repetitive or feel very similar to one another. I will also point out that the drums sound a bit over-compressed, especially in the sound of the cymbals. However, there are some standout songs, including the final 3 songs on the album, Wish You Well, Burden, and Cloudcatcher. It's an emotional gut punch of a run to close things out. Overall, it is a very melancholic and dark album, but there is beauty to be found in the profound journey of grief. I give it a 3.75 out of 5. And that will take us to our question for the audience. What is your favorite track on A Comedy Divine, and why? All right, for our second part of this very special bonus episode, we're going to talk about Distant Worlds music from Final Fantasy. Michael and I and my wife got to go enjoy Distant Worlds for the very first time last night. It was a birthday gift to me. I was so stoked to be there because, as everyone knows, I'm a huge Final Fantasy fan, and I love the music from Final Fantasy, specifically the stuff from Nobuo Uematsu, who I regard as the greatest modern composer, period. I mean, he's up there with John Williams for me. He's the Japanese John Williams.
Best way to put it for Dad, Dad loves Nobuo and John Williams so much. I think he would die if he could see him in like in the same room as him. I think he would pass away. I think we need to pull out the stretcher.
Life fulfilled. So, my wife, Michael's mom, doesn't particularly enjoy video games. However, she enjoys watching me play the Final Fantasy games. She thinks the artwork is beautiful. She does like some of the music and stuff, but she's not a video gamer. She was telling Michael last night while we were at the show that she hates it when I'm level grinding because she just wants to see the story beats. Fair. I was telling her that there's, YouTube videos out there with like, they just pull all of the cutscenes and make it into a big movie. Like, I think there's like a 10-hour video of Final Fantasy 12 out there.
I don't want to know.
You can go look that up and watch that.
I don't want to know how long the Final Fantasy 14 stuff is. They have 5 DLCs.
Yeah. Yep. So, we went to the show last night. Michael, who I tried to get to play all the way through Final Fantasy IV before we did our discussion on the Final Fantasy IV soundtrack, I wasn't sure how he was going to react to this, because he hasn't really played any of the games. I think he played like 5 minutes of Final Fantasy IV before we did the show.
Let me give you exact hour counts, all right?
I don't need hour counts. I know you didn't get very far. That's all I need to know.
All right. I know I played a decent amount. All right. So I have about 72 minutes on Final Fantasy 1. 2.2 hours on Final Fantasy 4. And about 117 minutes on Final Fantasy 7.
Well, you've done a little bit more on Final Fantasy 7.
And then me waiting 4.8 hours to install Final Fantasy 14.
Yeah, let's come back to that here, because I know you weren't a big fan of the series. It's a much different type of game than what you like. Typically, you like the more action-packed, more action-oriented games. I like the more story-based games, unless I'm playing a sports game.
Well, you're getting a story. You're building your own legacy.
Whatever. So, for those that have never been to a Distant Worlds concert, they usually partner up with the local symphony orchestra and a choir, and the show tours around with conductor Arnie Roth, and they usually have a vocalist with them to sing a few of the songs that have vocals to it. And we were not disappointed last night.
Nope, we were not.
So they opened or I guess I should talk a little bit about, they've got a big screen up front. So what they do is while they're playing the music, they're playing scenes from the various games of the music that they're playing. I thought the opening song last night was very apropos. They played the very well-known Final Fantasy Prelude, and they showed scenes from every one of the Final Fantasy games while that song was playing, and I thought it was gorgeous. It's one of my favorite Final Fantasy pieces.
I was getting teary-eyed.
You got a little teary-eyed? Is that what you said?
That isn't a joke either.
It was gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. I think Michael can confirm. I literally sat the whole 2 hours at Distant Worlds with a smile spread across my face a mile wide. I couldn't hide it if I tried.
I was locked in.
After they did the prelude, Arnie Roth did a little bit of an introduction to the show and, welcoming everybody and kind of getting everybody prepared for what they were in for the evening. And then they played Liberi Fatali from Final Fantasy VIII, which is the game's opening track. As soon as you start a new game on Final Fantasy VIII, it plays that song, and
did that come first? I
that was the first song right after
was
the prelude.
At first.
No.
Okay.
So they actually played the entire opening cinema to Final Fantasy VIII while they were playing the song, which was awesome. Mom mentioned that was one of her favorite songs that they played. Michael, how are you feeling about that song, out of curiosity?
I liked all of it.
Yeah.
There's definitely some standout songs that are definitely gonna come up.
Yeah, I mean, we don't have to get into we don't have to do like a deep dive track by track. I was just gonna mention the songs that they played.
Mm-hmm.
And, stop me if you've got something to say, okay?
All right.
So after they did Liberi Fatali, they played the victory theme, which was awesome. They had the choir involved with that and everything. It was awesome. And I think that's a song that everybody knows. Even if you're not a Final Fantasy fan, you know that victory theme. You've probably picked it up somewhere.
Between that and Prelude.
That too. That too.
Those are the big two things.
Then they got into some Final Fantasy IV. They played the Battle with the Four Fiends. I love that song. I love the Final Fantasy IV soundtrack, as evidenced by the fact that was the first Final Fantasy soundtrack we covered for the show. Do you remember covering that song on the show, Michael?
I do.
Loved that live rendition of it. Awesome. And I want to mention that I have never been to see a symphony orchestra before at all. So this was the first experience for me doing that. It was awesome. I will
They
definitely
need to come
be
back
doing that
already.
again. I know, right?
Come back.
They then played a song from Final Fantasy X. They played To Xanarkand, which is an absolutely gorgeous song. Probably one of the most beautiful pieces in Final Fantasy history. I love that song so much. And that one caught my wife's attention as well. Really pretty song. That piano opening to that song is absolutely iconic. Beautiful piece.
Yes.
Then they went on a run of Final Fantasy XIV songs, which got the crowd hyped. I keep forgetting how massively popular Final Fantasy XIV is.
Yeah, it's like one of the most popular MMOs.
I know, and I keep forgetting about it because I don't play the Final Fantasy MMOs. It's it's a me thing. I like when I have time to play a game to play whenever I want to play on my time. I don't want to
And
have
I
to
can
rely
make
on
an
someone
exact
else.
argument with you. From my understanding, they don't have resets.
No, I know. I've heard that you can solo through most of Final Fantasy 14. I just haven't been able to bring myself to it. Part of the reason why is I did give Final Fantasy 11 a try at one point, and I found it too slow and grindy, which my understanding that's how MMOs are. And if that's the way it is, then I don't know. I don't know. I may give it a shot. I know you have been trying to convince me to play 14 with you. Maybe I'll give it a shot with you.
I will force you. I will get on your computer. I will find a way to get on your computer, log into Steam, and install it.
So yeah, I think this is probably a good point to mention this. This show actually made Michael fall in love with the Final Fantasy series, so much so to the point that he came right home from the show and installed Final Fantasy 14 on his computer.
It may have taken forever, but that was partly because my computer kept on trying to go into sleep mode. and for some reason the launcher for Final Fantasy 14 did not like that. And it kept on crashing. So I didn't get it installed until the day that we are recording this show.
It is what it is. At least it got installed, right?
Yeah. I dislike that it has its own launcher.
Could be worse. So, the songs that they played from Final Fantasy 14, they played Songs of Salt and Suffering. That one got a huge round of applause.
I like that one.
They played Tomorrow and Tomorrow.
Also like that one.
They played Flow, and they played The Final Day. And folks are going to have to forgive me because I can't remember for sure which specific songs, but they brought out the phenomenal Amanda Aiken to sing a couple of these songs.
I
She
think
was
it
absolutely terrific.
I think it was for Tomorrow and Flow.
Okay, so Tomorrow and Flow were the songs you think?
Yes. Because I don't think she stayed out for the final day. And the more I think about the final day, I don't think it was meant for vocals.
She was absolutely terrific. So much so that my wife fell in love with her. She's got a gorgeous voice. My wife fell in love with her. We had stood in the merch line before the show started, and I was going because I wanted to get a bunch of soundtrack albums because I've never owned any of the Final Fantasy soundtrack albums in physical form. And I had asked her if she wanted anything like a t-shirt or anything, and she didn't want anything until she saw the show. And Amanda Aiken has a EP out that they were selling at the show, and so we got in line after the show and purchased that EP for my wife. And yeah, absolutely gorgeous. What did you think of her, Michael?
Amazing vocalist.
I thought the choir that they had on the show was phenomenal also. They were on their game.
Everybody was.
I was going to say, yeah, the symphony orchestra was phenomenal. I mean, they were all peak last night.
Hey, he's using relevant terms.
They closed out the first part of the show with a chocobo medley, which was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. It got the crowd chuckling and oohing and awing and stuff, especially at the beginning when they were showing the newborn chocobos. Definitely it had the crowd into it.
Big switch up.
Yep. Especially going from that really heavy, the final day from Final Fantasy XIV into that Chocobo medley. So after Chocobo medley, they took a little bit of a break, a little intermission, probably lasted about 10 minutes or so. Mm-hmm. And then they got into the second part of the show, opened that up with a bit of a battle medley where they played Final Fantasy V's Battle on the Big Bridge, which I was in hog heaven over because that is one of my all-time favorite Nobuo Uematsu pieces. It is such a fun song. If there was ever a prog rock song in Final Fantasy, Battle on the Big Bridge is it. Then they mixed in Let the Battles Begin from Final Fantasy VII and Fight with Seymour from Final Fantasy X. Absolutely fantastic. A lot of fun, that. Then they went into Final Fantasy IX's You're Not Alone, which is another really pretty song. Gorgeous song. Then they got into a surprise. They played Final Fantasy XIII's Blinded by Light, which I was thrilled with. That's one of my favorite songs on the Final Fantasy XIII soundtrack. It's, if you're not familiar, it's the main battle theme from Final Fantasy XIII. Such a fun song. Then they played, and I'm probably not going to pronounce this right, I believe it's Valse de Fantastica from Final Fantasy XV. Another one of the most recognizable songs.
That sounded pretty close.
Okay. It's one of the most recognizable songs from the soundtrack. I think almost everybody that knows Final Fantasy XV knows that song. It's a fun, it's kind of like a waltz almost. Michael, I think you mentioned to me that you do that song, right?
No, I recognize the game.
Okay.
I was just calling out games I recognize.
Okay. You recognize the bros with their car?
I recognize the Western themed and definitely the characters. Because that did come out in on the PS4.
Yeah, well,
I remember you playing it.
It's only that one section of the game where they're in the desert. There's a lot of other scenery to be found in the game.
But you got stuck there.
Well, that's a part of the story. So then they closed out the second set with a run of Final Fantasy XVI songs. They played Away, Ascension, My Star, which they brought Amanda Aiken back out for to sing on. She was awesome. Mm-hmm. Absolutely gorgeous. And then they finished off their Final Fantasy XVI run with Find the Flame. At that point, Michael is asking me about Final Fantasy XVI. Can you tell me a little bit about what's going on? Like, no, because that would be spoiling the game, and if you ever want to play it, I don't want to spoil it. So you're just going to have to play the game.
And then I almost performed a Batman beatdown on him.
And then they surprised me because I figured that the show was over after Find the Flame. They came out and did one more song. They closed, or I'm sorry, I skipped one. After Find the Flame, they started playing credits up on the screen and were playing the main theme from Final Fantasy, which was awesome. That's another one of those really iconic songs. Form of it, much like the prelude, appears in every Final Fantasy game. It's a really pretty song. Another one of those songs that brings tears to my eyes when I hear it. Really great song. And then they went off, or at least Arnie Roth went off stage.
Did he go off?
Yep, he went off stage for a moment and then came back, and they played their encore, which was One Winged Angel from Final Fantasy VII. and Arnie decided to engage the audience and have a little bit of audience participation, singing Sephiroth at points in the song, which, of course, everybody that knows One Winged Angel knows that song, and they know when to chant Sephiroth. It was awesome. It was a really cool experience.
And we got taught, well, I already knew dynamics, but the rest of the crowd got taught dynamics.
Yep. Pretty cool. It was an awesome way to close out the show. I thoroughly enjoyed my time at Distant Worlds. I'm so happy it finally came to town. I finally got a chance to go see it. I would go see it 100 more times if they came into town that many times.
As I put it, I found a new staple to go to.
Yeah, it was that good. And, obviously, everybody has their own taste, right?
Mm-hmm.
I can't tell people, I love Distant Worlds. You must go see Distant Worlds because you will love it. There's no guarantee of that, right? All I can tell you is how the music makes me feel. I have long had a love affair with Final Fantasy and the music of Nobuo Uematsu in particular.
Tell you about having affairs.
The music of the Final Fantasy series moves me. It moves my soul. It sings to my heart, and it makes me tear up when I think about certain songs. It's such an amazing journey. I've told Michael before that you can't sit down and play a Final Fantasy game and not listen to the music.
Yep, we had that conversation today.
You don't do it. You do not do it. You have to listen to the music because it's a part of the experience. Absolutely amazing show.
Yes. Definitely would see if they see it again if they got close.
And we created a new Final Fantasy fan in Michael. So
I already appreciated the music.
Michael, do you have anything that you would like to input?
Play Final Fantasy.
Appreciate the music.
Or at the very
Let
least,
the games take you on a journey.
Or at the very least, if you're not a game player, listen to the music.
100%.
Listen to the music. Bleep now.
If I could change something, I really would have liked to have heard them play the song. It's titled Memory del Stono, Distant Worlds. I love that song so much.
What is it from?
I'm sorry, I'm gonna re-say the title because it's Memoro della Stono, Distant Worlds, and it's from Final Fantasy XI. I knew it was a track from 11, but I always get Answers and this song confused with one another for some reason. Answers is from Final Fantasy XIV. But I would have loved to have heard them play that song, and I think Amanda Aiken would have killed it. But all that aside, it was a phenomenal show. I would totally go see it again.
Agreed.
Great evening.
Yes.
All right, Michael. Anything else?
Play Final Fantasy or listen to the music from it.
100%. And then get back with us and tell us what you thought.
Or you're an uncultured.
Yeah, let us know what your favorite Final Fantasy songs are. I would love to hear about what our listeners like. I would love to have that conversation. Michael, what was your favorite song from the evening?
I think it's Songs of Salt and Suffering from Final Fantasy 14.
Yeah, good song. Really good song.
It's from a DLC. I didn't catch exactly which DLC it was from, but I don't feel like digging that out. I got 5 DLCs and like probably thousands of pieces for Final Fantasy 14.
I just loved the whole show. I don't think I could pick a single favorite. Everything they did was outstanding.
But I gotta say the ending was amazing.
With One Winged Angel? Yeah.
Good way to end it.
100%. From perhaps the biggest Final Fantasy game ever, Final Fantasy VII. All right, Michael. Well, I think this is a good place to wrap things up. So with that said, we want to hear from you. We will read your emails and messages on the show. We have only one request. Keep them clean. There are several ways to contact us. You can email us at lightmovepod@gmail.com. You can also reach us on several social media platforms, such as Facebook, Blue Sky, Instagram, and Threads. Details on how to connect with us are in the show notes. We are part of the SPDM Crew Podcast Network. Check out all of the podcasts on the network by visiting spdmcrew.com.
If you like the show, subscribe to us on your favorite podcasting platform and share with your friends and family. We're available on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, and a variety of other platforms. We're also on YouTube. Can't find us on your chosen platform? Shoot us a message and let us know. Leave us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts. This helps us be found in the algorithm. Make them good and we'll read them on the air. Are you in a band and you'd like for us to check you out and possibly drop a recommendation on the show? Shoot us a message. We'd love to check you out and give you a shout.
We'd like to thank you very much for listening to the Leitmotif and Movement Podcast.
Take care and enjoy music.